Oh, Hasbro. Look at how they massacred my boy Vector Prime. I don't know how. I'm gonna try and articulate myself as well as possible in this video. I've got tons of points to hit about this figure and why this figure is wrong in almost every way. Um, I just don't know why they chose him to be a G-Axis retool. I mean, I know it's Wave 3, Generations lines towards the end of the year tend to have less budget, and it tends to be more so repaints, re-releases, retools, and you get a couple new molds here and there, and that's about it. So that was kind of to be expected, that he would be a little bit, lackluster, but I didn't think it would be this bad. If you compare it to the original toy, or if you compare it to the original cartoon model, he is missing so much extra detail. The extra paint I can set aside because, paint budget isn't the same as it was 15, 20 years ago. I understand that. But in terms of the overall sculpt and the look of this guy, he is way too skinny. The wings are way too small. The shoulder guards are way too small. He's missing the gun. I would have preferred it to be a gun rather than the Minicon, because if they did the Minicon packed in with the Voyager, he would have been so bad. Hopefully we get a core class Safeguard as a separate release one of these days. That would be nice. At least he does come with the cyber key in his sword. That is decent. I'd say the only thing that this guy has over the original is the functionality of the articulation. Because of him being a half retool from G-Axis, he's got hand articulation, wrist swivel, he's got great feet articulation, great arm bend and knee bend, waist swivel, he's got all that stuff. So in terms of the articulation, and hopefully he has a nice ball-jointed head. So in terms of the articulation and the overall functionality of this guy, he's probably a lot better than the Cybertron figure. I mean, the original Cybertron Voyager was still pretty decently articulated, but he just doesn't have ankle pivot. He doesn't have waist swivel, so he's missing those sort of pivotal things that we think of with modern day articulated Transformers from Hasbro. So, but honestly, that's about it. That's all he has over the original toy. And to be honest with you guys, I was so disappointed and so pissed off at how this Vector Prime came out when I first saw the images leaked of this guy last night, that a couple hours later, I was scrolling through Mercari looking for the original Cybertron Vector Prime, because I was holding off for so long of getting the original because I knew this new one from Legacy was coming, and I thought it was going to blow the original out of the water. But nope, it's just a half-assed G-Axis retool that pretty much looks almost nothing like how he appeared in the cartoon, except for the colors and except for the chest region. That's about it. He's missing the arm guards on the forearms. He's missing the hip skirt armor around his thighs and waist. He's missing the cape on his back. Like, all he has is just ugly wings dangling behind him now. It doesn't even look like a cape now because the whole back portion of the ship isn't behind his back to complete the cape look. It's shoved inside of his torso there because of how G-Axis transforms, which really sucks. And it ruins that sort of design aesthetic that Vector Prime had, and he's been famous for almost 20 freaking years now. So, oh my god. But anyway, I was scrolling through Mercari last night because I was so pissed at how this Legacy Vector Prime turned out, and I found him with the 2-pack with the Starscream recolored as Thrust, which was a Toys R Us exclusive back in the day, and I think like 2006, and it was for a decent price. I bundled them together with T-30 Tankor and Energon Slug Slinger, so I got those 4 coming in for a great price. I got them all for like $140 shipped or something like that, which is pretty great because usually that 2-pack of Vector Prime and Thrust go for $140, so I essentially got 2 figures for free if you're counting what it goes for on the market. Long story short, I have the original Vector Prime coming in because of how much I hate this new Legacy United figure. I mean, honestly, okay, I don't want to be that guy, because I know, a lot of Transformers fans out there in the community, they just don't like it when people have critiques of figures, especially nowadays with how people are. You just can't critique a figure to a certain amount of people out there in the fandom. Like, I know I'm probably going to get hate for this video, because I'm not praising it and I'm not calling it peak and how Cybertron fans are eating good this year. I mean, we are. We got Hotshot. Hotshot is amazing. Starscream is amazing. We're getting Cannonball, which is pretty good. It's just that this Vector Prime is a dud in my eyes. I do not think he's great. I think he's decent. I don't think he's terrible. But if you compare it to his design from the cartoon and you compare it to the original toy, he is lacking in so many areas, and literally the only thing that he does better than the original toy is a couple extra added pieces of articulation. That is literally it. And like I said before, the original Cybertron Voyager is already pretty decently articulated, and I'm pretty sure this Vector Prime is not going to have any nice ratchet joints either. It's going to be a bunch of loose friction joints, just like how it was with G-Axis. Well, my copy at least, it had a couple loose articulated joints. So, man. And going back to the wings, especially in the robot mode, you can't angle them out like you could on the original toy so you could give them wings in robot mode. You can't angle the blue solar panel sections inward and outward like on the original toy and in the show itself. You know, you just lose all those options with the wings and the functionality in the robot mode, and especially in the ship mode, which, speaking of the ship mode, it's okay. You know, there's a lot more detail present in the ship mode that looks really, really nice. But still, the wings just look so bland. You're missing so many joints and hinges that the original figure had that gave you more options to display this guy with the wings and how you want them. And the shape of it just looks so bland and boring and extra blocky than it should be because, well, obviously it's a retool of G-Axis, which had a very blocky and semi-boring Cybertronian spaceship mode. And we're getting pretty much the same thing here, just with extra added wings and a remolded front section, basically. That's it. Like, the legs look nothing like Vector Prime's legs. He's missing the foot guns. He's missing the armor on his legs, just like how he's missing the armor on his forearms and waist section. And look at this. It's just an icing on the cake on how trash this new Vector Prime is. Now, I know it was a good idea for them to remove the extra little wings on the bottom of the legs that G-Axis had, sure. But they couldn't at least remove the friction pegs that were holding the wings together on G-Axis. They're still there, and it's holding nothing together, obviously, and it just makes the figure overall look ugly. Now, I know that's kind of a nitpick, and it's even more so a nitpick to certain people watching this video, but aesthetically, and especially if you're a stop motioner and a toy photographer like me that takes it serious and that wants your photos in stop motions to look semi-professional and you want them to look like they came out of a comic book or a cartoon, that is wonky as hell. There's just random friction pegs hanging off of his legs. Like, that is so lazy to me, and it just makes it even more obvious than it needs to be that he's a lazy retool / repaint of a previously existing mold. Man, I don't know, guys. I'm definitely not getting this figure for retail. Maybe if he's like 15-20 bucks on sale. Like I said, I have the original coming in the mail along with Thrust because it's the 2-pack. So I'm really excited for that because I think the original figure looks much better. But, you know, if you can't afford the original Vector Prime and you can't find them for a good deal online, then I guess this is your only option. I mean, it's only 35 bucks. It's the most affordable option out there for a Vector Prime at this point in time. So I can understand if a lot of people are jumping at the bits to get him because the original, if you can't find a good deal like I did, he's pretty expensive online, you know. So I can understand why people are drooling over this figure and why he's pretty much, I'm pretty sure he's sold out on Hasbro Pulse and Amazon right now. So yeah, there's a lot of hype over this guy. You know, it's Vector Prime. A lot of people love this character. They love his design from Cybertron. And it's just surprising to me that, you know, they chose to make him a retool of a character that looks nothing like Vector Prime, and he came out the way he did, especially with how all the other Cybertron updates have been thus far. But like I said, it is Wave 3 of Legacy. This is the area where they tend to start making cuts, and it's more so retools and repaints with an occasional new mold here and there, like how it was with Hotshot. But yeah, it's pretty much my opinion on this Vector Prime. I don't want to ramble on too much longer. I just don't think he's all that great with him being a G-Axis retool. There's a lot of extra sculpt and extra details missing on this guy. He's too skinny. He's missing all the armor parts. He's missing the cape behind him. Now it's just a bunch of kibble and wings hanging behind him that look nothing like a cape. So I just think he's super weak. But yeah, let me know down in the comments below what y'all think about this Vector Prime. All my social medias are linked down below. My email is also linked down below if y'all want to hit me up about business inquiries, if you want to message me about whatever, or if you want to subscribe to my new Patreon link down below. It's got tons of exclusive content that you won't see here on YouTube or any of my other social media accounts, such as exclusive stop motions, Transformers photography. You guys get 1 week access before everybody else here on YouTube to my stop motion films. You guys get Discord access. You guys get exclusive music. Y'all get music snippets from my stop motion films. You guys get behind the scenes of projects I'm working on. So if you guys want to help support me and help support the channel, I would greatly appreciate it. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching this video. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Bye!